There's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors, doing new things, because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. We're always exploring and experimenting.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Imagineers Disney Podcast. Happy Tuesday to you all. I'm your host, Matt, and I am joined, as always, by my good friend and co-host, Susie. Hello, Susie. How are you?
I'm doing well. I have to comment really quickly, though, that today was Groundhog Day.
Yes.
And that little sucker saw his shadow or something, and there's more winter. And this is like the coldest, consistently cold Florida winter ever, and I hate it. So happy Groundhog Day, Bill Murray, and everyone who likes it cold.
Yeah, people joke all the time, well, how cold does it get in Florida? Like 50 degrees? Actually,
yesterday's high was like 50 degrees.
Yeah, we dip down into the 30s pretty regularly in the winter, sometimes down in the 20s, and I don't know, very, very rare occasion down into the teens. So it can get cold. And I'm telling you, Florida cold is different than northern cold.
What does that mean? Because I've been in snow briefly, but not like winter, like blizzardy.
I really think it's the humidity. It is like a wet cold. and it's just
Hmm.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Science.
Anyway,
Science.
hat's crooked.
Anyway,
Science.
all right. Well,
Here we
welcome.
are.
Before we kick off into tonight's awesome topic, I'm looking forward to it.
Mhm.
It is the beginning of the month, so that means it is Patreon giveaway time. So
What?
we are going to go ahead and just do that here real quick. Big shout out to all of our patrons. We've added a couple more to the bucket for tonight's drawing. So
Mm-hmm.
we appreciate you guys. If you want to support the podcast and be entered into these drawings each month, all you have to do is just come find us. We're on patreon.com/Imagineers. And for as little as $2 a month, you can get exclusive content, video from us. And then each month we're also entered into the giveaways that we are about to do. So
Yeah, and I have to say, patrons can also send us topics and movie night ideas. So we just had a great conversation with our Imagineer tier, our highest level of patrons, and we planned out the movies we're going to watch Friday nights on Discord for like the next 6 or 7 weeks. So you guys can get some influence on that if you're a patron.
And I actually have a graphic for that. We'll do it at the end of the show. So
Yeah.
at the end of the show,
Ooh, we have a graphic?
all of February slate of movies. I'm very excited for them.
I haven't seen this graphic. I'm really looking forward. I mean, I know what they are, but like,
yes,
I'll see the graphic. But let's draw. Do you want to show the prize first?
Yes, absolutely. So this month, so we were just on at Disney World, but we also went to Universal. And I know that we've only done Disney prizes so far. So this time we did do a Universal one, and we felt like the butterbeer mug was a good one to do.
That summed up our day. How many butterbeers did I end up getting? I don't remember, but it was chilly that day, and so I did all the hot butterbeer. Oh my gosh!
I limited myself to one. I'm very proud of myself.
So good.
Susie had butterbeer for the first time.
Yeah,
and then her life was changed.
Yeah. It really has been. I'm not the same person I was a month ago.
So, all right. Well, let's do this here real quick. So,
doing drum roll. Shaking my microphone.
Into the sink. I'm just pulling out a random name, and this month's winner is Stephanie E.
Yay!
So,
Stephanie.
Stephanie, we'll be contacting you soon, and I think I already have your address because I think you won. Actually, I think she won the very first.
I was about to say. I know I'm trying to think of all of our Stephanies. I think so. Yeah.
So yeah,
wow.
We'll get that out to you.
Lucky her.
Yes. Have a nice hot cup. You can make your own butterbeer. There's recipes out there for it. So
yeah. I'm lazy. I wonder if there's like places that sell like stuff like that. That sounded really vague. Never mind. But you know how there's like secret menus places?
Sure.
There were like a butterbeer secret.
There is a company that bottles butterbeer, but it's not that great. I can't remember what it's called. So anyway. All right. Well, we are going to get this thing started. So tonight's topic, the history of the Jungle Cruise.
Mm-hmm. In light of some very recent announcements that we touched on last week, we felt like this topic was perfect because the Jungle Cruise has a very interesting history and has had more changes than I think people realize. And in my research, I have to say, because we've been very focused on the Disneyland Jungle Cruise, it's different.
Oh, very
than
different.
the Disney World Jungle Cruise. So you guys, like, we got all the facts.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. I think this ride, more than most rides, maybe any ride at Disney, has been tinkered with over its history, because the Jungle Cruise was an opening day ride at Disneyland in 1955. It opened as a sea ticket attraction. And, even leading up to its design, I think there are some interesting things.
Yeah.
Real quick, Stephanie is watching.
Woohoo! Yes, Stephanie.
So Stephanie, congratulations on winning the prize. And she says, "So
Wow.
excited and love butterbeer and Harry Potter."
Oh my gosh, girl. If you make your own and drink it out of the mug, send us a picture. That's so fun.
Anyway, all right. So going back, so Disneyland, when it was being built, of course, is a fascinating history in itself.
We should do a whole series on the week leading up to Disneyland opening and opening day, because you're right. There's a lot of not perfectly figured out things that happened.
Right.
Not run smoothly.
And originally I'm pulling up a map here of Disneyland in its original concept. And the Jungle Cruise was going to be on the east side of Disneyland.
Mhm.
But because of some things, they actually decided to build it on the west side. And the big reason was because they're building this jungle ride,
Mhm.
and there's already some trees over there, and it was actually a clump of eucalyptus trees. And so that was kind of like the centerpiece and kind of what they built around
Mhm.
to in the design phase. And they actually Disneyland was well ahead of its time. Walt was way ahead in thinking about future projects, and specifically the I-5 corridor there
Yeah.
that runs by Disneyland, hadn't been built yet. So they're pulling trees out of the ground. They're asking people, putting ads in papers, are you trying to get rid of trees? If so, we'd love to take them from you. And they were hauling trees into Disneyland to, help with the layout and everything.
Oh my gosh.
It was one of those things. So to start, you're talking about a lot of transplants of local trees, a lot of orange trees. There
Hmm.
are no orange trees in the jungle, so they're like pulling the orange blossoms off.
Yeah.
So there was that. Also, I think it's interesting to note that the general concept of this ride is different than what we have currently.
Extremely. The original concept for this ride is more of something you would see at like Kilimanjaro Safari, because Walt wanted live animals. Very early on, that became very obvious, not even remotely feasible.
Right.
There's no room. There's no place to, not just for the ride, but if when you do the train out to the safari, Rafiki's Planet Watch, you can see all behind the scenes where the animals are kept. You need a ton of room if you're going to have animals on display. And we just showed that map. There is not even a fraction of that space.
Right. And Walt had already previously shown his love for animals in the shows that he did. So like Real Life Adventures was really popular back then. And his original idea for Adventureland was actually called True Life Adventureland, but they shortened it to Adventureland. So the Jungle Cruise was going to be on the River of Romance, and going through the Amazon and the Everglades, and it was supposed to feature real animals. Then someone tapped Walt on the shoulder and said, Walt, there's a chance that these animals are going to be unpredictable. They may be asleep. They may be hiding. They may eat your guests.
You do have animals on your animal tour.
Park reference for you all. So they kind of nixed that, and they're really getting heavy into animatronics at this point in time. The Enchanting Tiki Room, and really the final design of this ride, although we may look at it now and be like, oh, that's kind of cheesy, this was like cutting edge stuff.
Yeah.
Back then, I mean, life-size elephants and giraffes and lions. it was incredible. And what Walt also took some influences on was a certain movie. I don't know if you know what that movie is, Susie. Any guesses?
African Queen.
That is correct.
I
African Queen.
absolutely love that movie. Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn. Ooh, I'm so glad you brought that up. That is, by the way, where is it? It's streaming somewhere, I think. Go watch it. But like, look at that boat. That's very 1930s inspired. And doesn't that look a little familiar? Kind of like the boats that we see on the Jungle Cruise. And I think there's even a very overt reference. One of the names, I think, is some reference to the movie. I can't remember which of the boat names it is.
Yeah, there's lots of fun boat names. But yeah, it did take its influence from the African Queen, and we eventually did get a boat that was somewhat.
That's it, Congo Queen. Yeah. Congo
Queen. So,
first of all, look at that. Is that it? Look at the skipper's little capris.
Yeah.
Man, flip flops.
So different. It was so different. So, off the bat, this was very much kind of like an educational experience.
Mm-hmm.
Very, true to life as much as you can with fake animatronics, but there were no jokes. And I think one of the things that is fun to look back on, knowing that fact,
mm-hmm.
The current version of the Jungle Cruise is full of jokes, and they try to get you to
yeah, there's a whole binder that they go through. Yeah,
right. Well, one of the big things on the ride, of course, is the waterfall, named after Albert Schweitzer Falls. And then the joke now, currently in the script, is Schweitzer Falls, of course, named after the famous explorer Dr. Falls.
Albert Falls, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Did you know, Susie, and everyone listening, that Dr. Albert Schweitzer was actually a real person?
I did not know that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Dr. Schweitzer, again, because this is the original version of the Jungle Cruise, and it was true to life. Dr. Schweitzer was the 1952 Nobel Peace Prize winning philanthropist.
Oh my gosh.
Known for the Albert Schweitzer Hospital.
Shut up.
In French Equatorial Africa.
Poor guy, because now no one knows. Like, everyone thinks the joke is going to be that Dr. Schweitzer, but now it's Falls, and he just got completely written out of the ride for a really, really stupid joke. But he was a really, really important person.
Yeah,
that's sad.
He was given the Nobel Peace Prize based on his philosophy of reverence for life. So he was very, very committed to, I guess you could say, preservation. And so I thought that was an interesting little tidbit from the original attraction.
That's really sad.
To an extent. There are lots of things that we're going to talk about tonight that still exist in the ride, but have been changed a little bit. But I thought that was cool. Yeah. I don't even know where to begin, like, with the original ride. So some of the things are still there. They had some lions and alligators, but some changes started happening around 1957. That is when they expanded some of the scenes. So the alligator scene added more alligators. They added the boa constrictor. More lions were added to eat the zebra. And then
just what he needed.
This is when you had the controversial native village scene was expanded as well. So then you had the headhunters, and actually Trader Sam was added at this point as well. And I actually have a picture of the original Trader Sam. Obviously, this isn't an old picture, but this particular Trader Sam design lasted several decades. But basically, it was one of the natives, and then it had
mask,
a tribal mask.
Yeah.
So, and if you recognize that mask, it is actually in Trader Sam's in Disneyland, I believe. So, but yeah.
But big change in the early 60s.
Yes, 1963 to be exact. And by big change, it was a $7 million overhaul. And I did some math. I went and looked and I said, okay, how much was $7 million in 1963? That is the equivalent today of almost $60 million.
Oh my gosh. That is unreal. So for $60 million, enhancement of Adventureland, including Indian elephant pool, temple, Lost City, the Cambodian ruins along that portion. And I believe the Disneyland Jungle Cruise begins in Asia and ends in South America, whereas ours is reversed.
Yes.
Yeah.
The temple is the first. The Cambodian temple is the first thing you go through. Well, you don't actually go through it. It's different than here in Florida, where you actually go through like the tunnel and stuff. This is all outside, exterior, and the temple is on the shore. So, but that is, the expansion of this. That's where this takes place. And this is really where they bring in Imagineer Mark Davis to make some fairly significant changes. So this is actually where we first see the Lost Safari design is in this reincarnation of the ride. And this the Safari is actually one of the things that is going to be changing.
Right.
It has changed in the past. So when Disney World opened, we did get a slightly different version of it with all, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It's all white people.
Yes, it is.
The new design is going to be more ethnically diverse with, and also you have some females on the,
which I'm just going to go ahead and say is not an accurate representation of women, because we're smarter than to get into a situation like that. So they'll have to change that in the next few years.
Right.
But hopping back real quick, I feel to the 1960-63 era, that was also kind of when the addition of the jokes started weaving into the story. And I mean, that's a longer period of time between the opening of the park and really kind of the integrity of the ride changing. That's quite a long period of time. Do you want me to tell the story?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I love this story because it really embodies Disney listening literally to his guests and making those changes. And if you do the Keys to the Kingdom tour, you will also hear this story. So with Disney, just land at the time, you want to get people to do an attraction more than one time. And the thing about like Kilimanjaro, where you have real animals, the ride is different every time. You hear the same facts, but you don't always see the same animals, or it's a little different. Animatronic animals and a list of facts are kind of going to be the same each time you do it. So story goes, Walt overheard some women talking about going to ride the Jungle Cruise. And one of them basically, I'm summarizing, said, I've already done that. I've experienced, I know what it's like. I don't need to do it again. Which didn't, sit too well with Walt. But he also got word of one of the skippers kind of weaving in a couple of jokes during his tour. So Walt went and rode and listened. And that's really where the inspiration and the idea to completely transform this ride from just reading off some facts to skippers getting really into their puns and their jokes. And it's not always the same jokes either. So you really do get that kind of unique experience each time you do the Jungle Cruise. Every skipper has their go-to jokes that they like to do at different points. So literally, like, listening to people in the park changed this ride from potentially forgettable and something that we may not have even gotten at Disney World to one of the most iconic park attractions at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in a way they may have actually taken it a little too far. One of the things that they did in this attraction was add more lions eating.
I love this.
And it well, what can I say is it got a little violent.
Oh my gosh. He's just sleeping.
He's just sleeping. No, they literally have animatronic lions ripping apart the zebra.
Kids just go to Disneyland and
kids are crying.
Circle of life.
So that was actually changed very quickly. But yeah, this was really the big change for the Jungle Cruise when it morphed into, like Susie said, the more humorous interpretation. And
family friendly.
Yes, family friendly, of course. Now, before we get to Disney World, because of where we're going next, I found a video on YouTube. Okay. And it's not often that you see corporations like filming their commercials inside Disney World, outside of Disney doing their promos. But I did find one. There is one that exists. RCA in 1964 did a promo for their televisions, and the Jungle Cruise was the
what?
Here we go.
This is a world of excitement. The right world for 1964 RCA Victor New Vista TV. Here is television so powerful, we invite you to compare it against any make, anywhere, on any channel. Rugged. That's another word for RCA Victor New Vista TV. Precision made with space-age sealed circuitry. If you're looking for excitement, look for RCA Victor New Vista TV. See the full line at your RCA Victor dealers now.
That is not one of the most bizarre things.
That makes absolutely no sense. There is no connection between the product and their location.
I don't know. I don't know if
that's weird.
I don't know if they were trying to market the additions to the ride. So, like, yeah, as you saw, the elephants, elephant bathing pool was in there.
Headhunter.
The headhunters, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that
RCA.
Yep. But so fast forward to 1971, just a few short years later, and Disney World is opening, and of course, the Jungle Cruise is going to be an opening day attraction. And it's going to be different than the one that is over at Disneyland. You have the expanded temple, so the one that you actually ride through. The gorilla camp with the overturned Jeep was a new scene. There was also one that currently does not exist. It only lasted just a few weeks. And there were some animatronic frogs. And again, they did not last long. I'm looking for a word. Did I put this photo? Did I not add it? I must have forgotten. Oh, no, there they are. Boop.
They're so cute.
Well, Dick Nunis thought they looked too cartoonish, so he took them out. But for a very short while, there were these frogs.
I love them.
Inside of the Jungle Cruise. And interestingly enough,
bring them back.
One of the frogs actually did make its way over to the Rivers of America. And it's on a stump, and some alligators are like snapping at it. So
I hope he's okay. That's cute.
Well, he's been there for a while, so I think
And he's not real, so I don't think there's any real danger.
this is also where they completely changed the lion zebra scene and moved them over to the den.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit more less crazy.
Gruesome. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Then fast forward to 1993. So from 1971 to 1993, not a lot of changes happened.
Right.
But 93 over in Disneyland is when they start talking about Indiana Jones. And for a while there in the design, the Jungle Cruise and the Indiana Jones adventure were going to be very almost married together in a way in design. And because of budget cuts, that did change. But when you ride the boat, when you ride the ride in Disneyland, you float past the Indiana Jones queue there, and then they somewhat reference it a little bit in the script. So
see, I would feel that would make people really upset because you're taking something that has been there for so long and you're trying to like make it fit in with something new. I wonder if people around that time, like the purists, were as upset as maybe people are now with changes. You know what I mean?
Well, another big change were the boat designs. This is when they moved to the current design. They got rid of the red and white striped canopies. And actually, I forgot to bring this out. The Jungle Cruise pop figure. With,
the original red and white.
It's the original boat.
Ooh.
Yeah, they released this pop figurine back, I think August or September, but Excursions departing daily. And in the back, they have several of the things like the hippos and the tiger.
Oh, cute.
The monkeys. Oh, and the piranha. So we'll get the piranha in a second. Yes, you're
I didn't read about the piranha.
Piranha. Piranha did not come until 2005, and it's over in Disneyland only.
I want nothing to do with that.
It's fun. They just go. They're on like a little wheel.
You know how I don't like birds?
Okay.
I don't like fish for the same reason. Fish freak me out because I don't know where they're at. I don't like water where I can't see where I'm stepping. It freaks me out. Like birds, it's like, where are they at? Like they could fly anywhere. Fish are the same way. So.
Yep. So
I don't trust fish.
Piranhas were added in the mid 2000s. Something that was taken away in 2000.
Oh, yes. Let's park here for a little bit.
2001 is where they stopped shooting the hippos on the ride.
So 2001 was a rough year, and there were a lot of changes in a lot of different aspects of American life. And so this makes a lot of sense for many reasons. But I still love them like holding it sometimes. And they're like, shoo. They did that for a little while. I think they took that one away a couple years after too. But no more firing.
Yeah, no more shooting the hippos. Now for a while they did. In fact, I think Disneyland still shoots the gun, but they shoot it up in the air. They don't directly shoot it at the hippo.
Interesting.
You know, animal cruelty.
Well, there's that too, of course.
Never mind the hippo's about to eat you, but you know, it's okay. I remember one time at Disney World riding it. It's when they still use the gun. I don't know. Maybe it was immediately after they stopped shooting the gun, but he used his fingers and went pew pew. It was kind of funny.
That's the spirit of the Jungle Cruise. Like it has so much self-awareness that they can do really, really silly things like that.
Yeah.
That Bright is up like against the line.
Right. Well, let's park real quick on maybe one of the, if not the most iconic character of the ride, Trader Sam. So it's different in Disneyland than
Mhm.
Disney World. Disneyland looks like this. There we go.
Mhm.
And Disney World, he looks like this.
Mhm.
So definitely more cartoonish in Disney World.
Oh, the stripes.
Yes, yes.
I just figured that out.
There you go.
What do you know? Okay.
So for a long time, over in Disneyland, it's Trader Sam. But when they introduced the character in Disney World, he did not go by that name. In the script, it actually said Chief parentheses name in parentheses.
Mm.
So it gave the skippers the opportunity to call him whatever they wanted. But in true Jungle Cruise fashion, they took that and ran with it and called him for the longest time Chief Name.
Oh my gosh.
And then finally in I think it was 2005-ish, they called him Trader Sam, both on the West Coast and on the East Coast. And he has become a very popular character. He has a tiki bar on both the West Coast and on the East Coast. It's hilarious. There are so many references. In fact, Trader Sam's is so heavily tied in again with the Society of Explorers and Adventurers.
Mhm.
They helped fund the construction of
Wow.
those buildings. And if you go in them, especially the one at Disneyland, there are a lot of references to the society. And a lot of it takes place on the walls. So there are postcards and letters and pictures from people from the society. Short Round, there's a letter from Short Round to Trader Sam. You know who Short Round is? He's from Indiana Jones.
Call him Dr. Jones, doll.
But
That's my favorite line.
one of my favorite things in the Disneyland tiki room is Tiki Bar is the Miss Tilly reference, the Typhoon Lagoon. So there's a picture of Miss Tilly on top of the mountain, and it says, Sam, that was the strangest, dark, and stormy we ever had. What happened? Crew of the Miss Tilly. And it's addressed to Trader Sam, Jungle Cruise Navigation Company. Please forward. So
I just love this lore they've created for themselves.
it's incredible. And
It's so good.
The humor is goes on the East Coast and on the West Coast. East Coast in Trader Sam's, there's fun little things, and this is I took a picture of this several years ago. So the book in the back, I can't remember the full title, but it's I think Man Eaters of the Amazon or something, or Man Eaters of Africa, and then directly in front of that is the book Eating People is Wrong. And then you have the pepper shaker knocked over there for the for effect. So
Nice.
it's a lot of fun. But I think one of my favorite renditions of the Jungle Cruise, which started in 2013, is the Jingle Cruise.
I wanted to wear my Jingle Cruise shirt, but again, it's freezing outside, you guys. That's not an exaggeration. It's super cold. But I love this. And one reason I really love this is we don't get a lot of overlays at Disney World. So hint, hint, guys. We need more of these things.
But for those of you who don't know what the Jingle Cruise is, they overlay, and it's like pretty much the only ride overlay in Disney World, I think, for the most
I think
part.
so too.
Yeah, they do some stuff for the Halloween
Don't-
party, but you know, like on the teacups and Space Mountain.
Yeah.
But to the level of set decoration, the Jungle Cruise turning into the Jingle Cruise,
Mhm.
really the only example of that. And yeah, you know, they have Christmas wrapping, and sometimes like the Lost Safari, the pole turns into like a Christmas tree.
Mhm.
And then, you know, Trader Sam is Santa Claus.
Santa. Love it.
And his sign is pretty great. It says, "Get a head start on your holiday shopping with Trader Santa. Hurry soon,
Santa.
hurry soon, and
Inventory is shrinking.
inventory is shrinking."
Oh my lord. Yeah,
So
so
good. It's so good.
all of the terrible puns are also Christmas-fied, and it's so much fun to do at night. I love the Jingle Cruise at night. Everything's lit up. I can feel it. Like, I wish I were there right now. But I almost like the Jingle Cruise better, just because it is like more unique to that time of year, and there's more layers to the jokes with Christmas.
Right. Yep. It's definitely one of my favorite things, especially during the holidays. It's just a great ride. And when we did our top 100 episode, I think the ride made both of our top 10s. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
I need to go look back. I feel like yours was like 7.
It was probably on my list highly. We get the most comments from listeners about those episodes, and as fun as they were, that was so exhausting. I barely remember anything except David Dollar hating Space Mountain so much.
Yeah, and Illumination's not making anyone's top 10, top 100.
It was on mine.
Oh, sorry, for Jen. Jen didn't have it in the top 100.
Oh, Jen didn't. Yeah.
So, good times. Well,
Wow.
it's a great ride, and they are making some changes. We went over the Lost Safari and how they're doing that. They are expected to add another change as well. So the Quango Kate is going to be making her grand return back to the Jungle Cruise, and will actually be part of the experience. It will be split in half. So where the other half is, we don't know, but we do know that some monkey business will be happening soon. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. I'm again glad they are going on the humorous route and not really banking on the future risk
Movie.
Yeah, I have no doubt. Like, I'm looking forward to the movie. I think it's going to be funny.
I wouldn't change a iconic attraction to a movie that has yet to come out.
Yes.
If they want to make a couple, like I was literally thinking about this the other day, the section you pass in Africa where they say like, this is whatever, but most people take it for granted.
Mhm.
It's a giant rock.
Yes.
It's really literally a chance for them to be like, and then this is the star of the latest Disney movie.
Yeah.
Because it's The Rock. By the way,
Jungle
Cruise was number 5 on my list. And if any Imagineers are listening, I will write jokes for you for free. Out of the goodness of my heart.
I'd be curious to see some of those. You have to share those with me.
That's the only one I could think of. But if my point was, if they did little lines during the promotion of the movie that work with however the ride is, I'd be fine with that. But it does not warrant characters or story from a movie that no one has seen yet, and that's been delayed, pushed back because of COVID, but still, like.
And let's be honest, some of the real life renditions as of late for real life people have been kind of weird looking. I don't know if I would want to see their version of Dwayne Johnson in animatronic form, or
Emily Blunt. Who else is in it? Isn't there a third person that?
I think she's supposed to. I mean,
there's more than 2 people.
I think there are more than 2 people in the movie, but yeah.
I thought there was someone else billed, but yeah, no, leave that to the holograms or whatever holographs in Rise of the Resistance, like where it's an actual person having record, like Ray, which obviously wouldn't work for Jungle Cruise, but no, there are people. Really, only the Johnny Depp Jack Sparrow is really good, but
yeah.
It's so simple. Like, he doesn't have any major movements.
Right. Well, I'm excited to see what they do with it. So we'll do. But it's one of our favorite rides. Where does it fall on your list? Is it a must do every time you go to the parks? Do you hate the ride? You can let us know that too.
What's wrong with you? I will say I feel sorry for, maybe that's not the right way to say it, but that feeling for two kinds of people. One, people who don't speak English who ride the Jungle Cruise, because it's very like you don't know what's going on because there's no context clues on the ride as to what's happening. Like it's jokes. And then the other one is if you sit in the back and you've never done it before, sometimes it is hard to hear.
Right.
And with masks, it's also hard to hear.
Yeah.
And I get it. I'm not against it. I'm saying it's hard to hear. So if you've never done it, you don't know anything about it, and you go and there's masks and you're sitting by the engine and you can't hear what's happening, you're like, what is happening? It's a little tricky. So I'll say that you need to know what you're getting onto before you get onto the Jungle Cruise.
For sure. But it's so much fun. I enjoy
Oh, but we love it. Yeah.
It's one of our favorite ones. Maybe
Hold on.
I don't know.
What's your favorite joke?
Oh, wow. I mean, so I really did like the crocodiles when they start naming them, and one of the crocodiles' names is Ginger, and they say, "Watch out, Ginger snaps."
That's a good one. That's a good one. I remember the first time when they were like trying to scare the hippos away, and they're like, "I'll scare them away," and I'm like, "I'm ready for commitment." Like,
I feel like that's a new one. Like
that's over the last couple of years. I really like that one. I also really like when you're waiting to dock and you're like right by Trader Sam, and they're like, let me point out some of my favorite plants. This one. I like that one. That green one. I don't know why. It's so stupid. I love it.
Shout out to the backside of water.
Oh, yeah. Iconic. That took me years to get. As a kid, I was just like, oh, yay. But there is no backside of water. It's not a real thing.
I'm one of those people who will like scream and cheer at that moment.
Oh, yeah.
And like everybody else on the boat is like,
that's what I'm saying.
Person.
If you can't hear what's happening or you don't really get it, and there's people cheering for a waterfall, it's Jungle Cruise is like a cult ride. Like if you know, you know. Yeah. You know.
Oh, that was fun. So big thank you to everyone who hopped on tonight. We had a lot of comments. I'm just going to run through some of the people who were here. Just thank them. Mr. Adam Duckworth, of course, of Travel.
Yay!
Says hello and have a great show. Thank you, Adam. Sarah Hayes jumped on at the beginning when we were talking about the she lives in Mississippi, and it's the same. So Rachel Hansen, thank you for hopping on to say hello.
Yay!
Then, of course, we had Stephanie who won the prize. Our friend Art Zone on YouTube says, I listen to this podcast right when it comes out. I love this podcast so much. So,
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Your check for that comment will be in the mail in the morning.
Then our good friends, of course, Melly Boozer.
Yay!
I meet your guest when we were talking about the original idea from Walt. So,
I don't know. Some of those animatronic lions were pretty like...
Andrew, our new friend Andrew.
All right, yeah.
Hello. Thank you for watching tonight. Christoph, of course, is listening.
Yay.
And he says that commercial looks like someone was on an acid trip filming that. I completely agree. Michael's on here. Glad I did not miss anything. I love the Jungle Cruise.
Yay. Thanks, Michael.
We love the Jungle Cruise, and we love you, Michael. We do. And then Linda finally made it to watching live.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for watching.
I didn't join.
Same thing to Caitlin.
Hi. What? Live group.
So we appreciate all you guys. You guys are the best. we just really enjoy doing this every week. It's easily one of the highlights of my week. I'm sure it is for you too, Susie.
I'm just kidding. I love it so much. I
will be
do.
taking applications for the next co-host. No, just kidding.
Wow. Big shoes to fill, guys. Good luck with that. Won't have those many comments next time, huh?
So, yeah, we appreciate you guys, and we'd appreciate if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, go and do so. If you have enjoyed listening, we are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you like to listen to your podcast, whether it's on an app, whether it's on your web browser. You can find us by searching for the Imagineers Disney Podcast. And social media, you can find us also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and we want to really plug our upcoming slate of movies for Discord. So
yes, join our Discord channel. We've gotten a few new friends there recently, and it's been really fun talking with everyone during our Friday night movies, which again, like so many things, was born out of the pandemic and having nothing to do. And it's been almost a whole year of Friday night movies, and I look forward to that every Friday night. You guys are so fun.
We've had some fun ones. Last week's D2 The Mighty Ducks was fun to watch. Throwback. Gordon Bombay. Team America. Anyway, so we are in February now, and we are actually going to celebrate Black History Month.
Yes.
So the entire month, every Friday night, we are going to have a movie that will feature stories from Black artists and characters. So
some of which are real, some are actual real stories that are worth sharing. Like this Friday, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. Hidden Figures is so good.
It's so good.
Please look these women up to after the movie or before, just to like brush up on your history and learn about what they did, everything they went through, because the movie is not 100% historically accurate, it's a movie, but just pioneers for so many reasons. Oh, I love this movie.
Hidden Figures is easily one of the best movies, one of my favorite movies that has come out in the past few years. So, it's phenomenal. We're going to be watching that this Friday. Then next Friday, the 12th, we'll be watching the Disney Channel original movie, The Color of Friendship.
Oh my gosh. I haven't seen that in so long.
And then on February 19th, we will be watching kind of a little known movie. It wasn't marketed very well, in my opinion.
No, it wasn't. I remember seeing the marketing for it, and I thought it was a documentary. I didn't realize it was like a scripted movie. I didn't get that.
So we'll be watching The Queen of Catway on February 19th. And then to close out the month on February 26th, we'll be watching Remember the Titans. So yeah, come find us on our Discord channel. We comment. So what we do, we all come in a few minutes before 8:00, and then Eastern Standard Time. And we give the cue to play the movie. So you hit play on your Disney Plus account. And then, so that way we're kind of as close as we can to be in sync. And then we just, watch it together and then leave comments. If
giant group chat. Yeah.
If something sticks out in your mind, funny or not about the movie, you can comment, and we just kind of have a fun discussion throughout the evening. So we would love for you to join us for sure. So.
Shout out to Stephanie last week with the most amazing GIF game I have ever seen, because
Emilio
Estevez, and I absolutely love Breakfast Club, and she was just on fire with her GIFs. They were so funny.
They're pretty great. So come find us. We're there on Discord and on the other social media platforms. And then before we close out, of course, we definitely want to plug our services as travel agents. We're Travelmation, the authorized Disney Vacation Planner, Platinum authorized Disney Vacation Planner. And we are, like we announced last week, I don't think Susie was actually in the room when I brought it up because she was dealing with dog things. But for the entire month of February through March 1st, if you book any vacation package with us, you will receive a $50 gift card. So we're giving you free money by choosing us as your travel agents. Email us with your travel plans and we will get you some quotes. And when we get you booked, we will definitely give you a $50 gift card of your choosing. If you're going to Disney World, you can easily use that for a Disney gift card. If you're going somewhere within the States, if you're going down to Orlando to Universal, we'll send you a $50 gift card there. If you're going to an all-inclusive resort, that can go to a spa treatment or something. So lots of things that you can do with...
I mean, spring break's right around the corner, you guys. If you have been thinking about something, like, leave the planning to us. Like, take that stress off. It's right around the corner. Like, really, time is like moving so crazy fast already this year. And plus you get, like Matt said, $50 gift card. So it costs you nothing except missing out on $50 gift card.
You could book it on your own, or you could book with us and get free money. So the choice is yours. But
we're great.
All joking aside, we would love to take care of you. And I've been an agent now almost for 5 years. So it's been
almost 5 months.
So between the expertise of both of us, we'll be able to help you have the very best trip possible. And it's just it's a lot of fun helping families go celebrate life.
Yeah.
It's more than just going to a theme park or going to a beach. It really is about having special memories with those you love and having a good time. And it's always a pleasure to help my clients experience that. So we appreciate all of you.
So touching. I don't have anything to say. I can't top that.
Well, then I guess we'll just have to close it then.
Okay. Bye.
So thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for booking with us, of course. And we hope to see you Friday for movie night. So if not then, we will see you on the next episode. And until then, remember, if you can dream it, you can do it.
There's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors, doing new things, because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. We're always exploring and experimenting.